Well, hey, like a lot of people, Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale has been on my bucket list for a long time. Thought I'd put this video together and just show you a little bit about what the experience was like to both sell and buy a car and the whole experience. But before we even got to Barrett Jackson, our plane landed at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and following up on a couple leads on Craigslist, went and checked out this 64 F100. And it's an old truck, no doubt, but I mean, the trucks in Arizona are just amazing. It already had a 300 horsepower 302 in it. The asking price was $9,000. It does need some work. It needs a new windshield. It's going to need paint. It's going to definitely use some body, but you know, once again, it's just so solid. So we struck a deal, ended up paying $6,000 for the 64 F100, and we hope to bring this back and be a great product to do some modding on it. So, you know, paying for it is going to be the challenge because you have to get the title in your hand, but you have to get the cash to the customer. So Visa Advance is the only way I could do it down here. Off we took the truck to my friend Joel's warehouse for storage. Appreciate that, Joel. And on to the next one from Craigslist. 61 Apache. I really like this truck. A cool looking style with Yenko Chevrolet, kind of a dealership clone truck, if you will. It did have a couple of love bites in there, but 327 4-speed, so you know, he had this truck listed at 18 grand when I first saw it, and the guy bumps it up to 20 by the time I get down there. But I negotiated 15,750. Struck a deal, went to the bank, same process with the title, got him some money, and he was kind enough to drive it over to my friend Joel's warehouse again, and that's where we left it safe and sound so we can head off to Barrett Jackson. The next day we got there, checked in, got all our goodies, got our bid badges. You get 10 drinks per badge per day if you're inside at the auction, that is. That seems kind of like Vegas. But looking at the trucks and the prices of the trucks, man, this was a much nicer truck than I bought, but at $60,500 I was feeling really good about the purchases. Lots of trucks and cars on display, like Motley Crue's custom wagon here. And this one I fell in love with, a 49 pickup rat rod called Shotgun Betty. I was all over this truck and really liked the style of it and how the guy used guns and bullets just for style, obviously not live ammunition, but it wasn't long in the bidding, and I thought to myself, can I even get this into Canada? So I stopped at 20 grand wisely, and I think it went for about $27,000 plus the 10% buyer's fee when it's all said and done. But lots of cool stuff, a lot of manufacturers display, and trucks, they're hot. Here's a stock old Chevy that was in the same family for something like 35 years. Done it up like a U.S. forestry truck. It was really clean, really nice. And this truck was actually one of the better buys at, I think, $27,000 that this truck ended up selling for. But I just could not find any Fords. Well, meanwhile, out in the display area, here's the restoration garage with all kinds of tips on how to restore your vehicles, and product displays like Ride Tech that we use at Bad Dog. Pretty cool. Outside, there's a ride and drive where pro drivers representing Ford, Chevy, and Dodge will take you for a ride, but Dodge, I think you better rethink your participation because these cars just did not compare well, in my opinion. I think it's pretty obvious to the Ford Mustangs, and the Chevy Corvette, of course, just smashed it through these corners. Oh, barely holding on to it. Let's see how the vent does. Under the tent, we found this 55 Chevy that looked super cool. Reminded me of the one from Gas Monkey. Saw this 70 Cutlass W31 442. Met some celebrities like Dave from Bitchin' Rides. And, well, remember that Chevy? Careful what you ask for. Next thing you know, my hand was in the air when I couldn't afford any of the trucks, and I thought I got a great deal. Paid $31,000 US plus the 10% fees. So that's $34,100, I believe. Time to have a drink. But those tickets don't work outside. They only work inside where you got to be bidding. So time to get to the lane and represent the car we brought, the 2010 Shelby Super Snake. You got to be out there ahead of time talking to potential buyers, selling the car. Oh, Barrett Jackson 2018. First time I drove the Super Snake, and it's up to the block at Barrett Jackson. That's pretty cool. We've had a ton of interest in this car. What a mega show down here. But we're hoping it's no reserve. You take your chances. We're hoping 65 US will break us even, but I'd like to see something in the 70s. You never know. But met some cool people down here. Bought a few cars.
Good luck.
Thank you. No, this is kind of a bucket list for sure. Driving up to the block at Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale, 2018.
Yeah, that's
I almost rubbed the camera. This is exciting.
Yeah. Here comes Rick Solis, our sales.
What was your number on this thing is what, 90-ish?
Oh, I don't think it's in Canadian dollars, yeah. I don't think it's going to bring that much.
Well, no, I'm just going to let the auctioneer know they're still going to try and work it. So.
Yeah.
US dollars, 90, or what do you think?
No, I think US dollars, I think it's a $75,000 car.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to work hard. Obviously, we can't control the outcome, but we got over 5,000 bidders out there, so I'm going to let them know when we get up there.
Everybody kind of knows this car pretty good.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah, I think it's going to be pretty great. So.
Yeah, no, this car is, just make sure it's 750 horsepower, all original Shelby, never hurt.
Yeah,
One of them. 90,000 US. Wow.
How come you didn't say yeah?
Because it's an auction and you don't want to be foolish and appear like you're being greedy.
I got you.
You got to be reasonable and you got to get the right buyers and they all got to be excited, because trust me, if two people out there want to pay 90, it'll happen. But you're not going to fool these guys. These buyers are well educated. They know what these cars are worth. And they got to pay a 10% buyer's fee on 75. The Barrett Jackson employee who's walking with me says, rev it up when you go over the chassis cam. The crowd loves it. All right. But
do we have to go when it gets up there?
Yeah. We drive over the chassis cam. Well, wouldn't you know it? Just as we rolled up to the block, the live camera feed cut to commercial. Had everybody back home watching it, and they all missed it. But thankfully, my buddy Mitch back at the shop, he did a little tape of or video of the simulcast or streamcast online, so the quality's not so good, but it's coming up next. And here we go.
Here we go.
Super Snake powerhouse 5.4 liter.
Hey, you know what? You got to think about clothing choices when you're at a place like this. I got my blue Ford shirt on. Michelle's matching me in her new blue top. And we're on stage, getting a little nervous. Here's an example of how they try and pump up the car and get your price for you. So we went backstage. Because we're Canadian, they expedited the title, handed it to me right there. I had escrow, I had value in the car sold, of course, so no money had to exchange. Temporary plate, and away we went. Now you talk about a process. When you buy a car at Barrett Jackson, the car is videotaped when it comes in, and before you can take it off the premises, even at night in the dark, you've got the light set up under the tent. You're going to do a thorough videotaping of the car as it leaves. we can make no complaints. Car you bought. Next day, Friday, we already planned to take a drive. Might as well take the Chevy.
Beautiful 55 Chevy we picked up Barrett Jackson. Rolled it out last night. Before we go home, we're taking a scenic drive, give her a good test route. Want to twist and turn the 2-lane highway through Prescott Forest. Friends back in Orangeville recommended we go to Jerome, a ghost town, for lunch. A place called Asylum. See the USA in your Chevrolet. Thank you, Dinah. 383 stroker, 4-speed, resto mod, beautiful paint and chrome. This car rather, is just awesome. Yeah.
So here we are at the Grand Hotel in Jerome, Arizona. The beautiful view. The second floor restaurant looks over this gorgeous valley. It was a really nice spot. Jerome is north of Phoenix and probably about 25 miles due west of Sedona. We just didn't have time this trip. Another reason to come back. I hadn't quite factored in these speed bumps with the header pipes dragging down below, scraping over the slightest little bump in the road. These narrow little streets didn't help any, but cool town, great shopping. So with the 55 back in Chandler, Arizona in Joel's warehouse, later that night we went out and had a great dinner at Bourbon and Bones. Lots of great restaurants in Scottsdale. So that's our trip. We didn't stay for the Saturday. Nothing we could afford there. Regret we didn't get to see Kenny Chesney, but that's the way it goes. It was a great trip. Highly recommended.